folks, this is Wayne here, yet another outdoor and gear review channel. Today I want to show you my heavily revised, redesigned bug out emergency backpack. Now when I presented my backpack 2 weeks ago, I had a different design philosophy. It was a hybrid between something like a bushcraft bag and an emergency backpack or bug out bag. And that is a good idea in the sense as you constantly train with your gear, because you take it outdoors, you take the backpack outdoors, you take all the tools outside and you use them much more often. That is a good idea. However, you will tend to remove things that you don't need that day. You will not pack certain things that should be in a bug out bag. And like, for example, your documents and other things. Now I got a lot of good responses underneath my video. A lot of people had different ideas, things that I should add, but it really came down to that design philosophy aspect. So now I have a dedicated bug out bag, and the bug out bag that is designed according to the environment that I live in. That is a city or suburban environment. It's a little bit different from an actual bushcraft situation or wilderness survival situation, which is very unlikely to ever happen. And then I certainly don't have a bug out bag with me. It's really packing the gear that you need when you go outdoors into the wilderness beforehand. So this backpack is pretty much empty. Now one of the criticisms was, and that really stuck to me, that this backpack looks like it has a lot of good gear inside, looks a little bit military. You don't want to give off the wrong signals in such a situation. You want to be inconspicuous, you want to be under the radar, you want to look like you don't have too much useful, high quality, too much good gear. Now this backpack is a totally civilian backpack. And that's not a military backpack either. It's more like a hunting backpack, right? It's not that kind of backpack that looks overly militaristic, but it can be confused. Now this one can't be confused. It has still low-key colors, doesn't draw too much attention through the colors alone, but it doesn't scream like that someone invested thousands of years in his gear. Now you don't want to advertise that. That being said, it has a lot of good stuff inside, a lot of inexpensive stuff as well. And this is not an endorsement of any particular gear. It's just ideas about a general setup and how I organize my bug out bag. Maybe you can benefit from it. Your comments certainly will be welcome. So this was the philosophy aspect, the design of my bug out bag, the ideas behind it. So it's more a bug out bag for urban context, not a bushcraft bag, and it's a dedicated bug out bag this time. So now let's come to the organization of the backpack. Let me turn around. As you see, it's a pretty substantial backpack. It's heavy. I actually take a measurement of that. But that's not a problem because it has an internal load-bearing system. It has an internal frame, so the weight distributes very, very well. Right now the backpack is not even close to being at full capacity. There's a lot of space in there where I can add mission-specific, weather-specific gear easily, or where I can add anything that I pick up along the way. So that's a good idea. It's not fully kitted out, but it has all the basic necessities so I can survive with it for at least 3 days. With certain creature comforts as well. So there is a front organization. Now this is an add-on part that you can get for a few dollars on Amazon or Banggood, Gear Best, something like that, one of those stores. You have a walkie-talkie on top. My wife has a walkie-talkie in her bug out bag as well. I have a long antenna on there, higher gain. So very simple, inexpensive walkie-talkie in case the cell phones don't work. Underneath there's a little compartment. There is a pepper spray. There is a flashlight. The flashlight is a USB-C flashlight, USB-C rechargeable, easy to recharge. It's a Woven C3. Excellent flashlight, really lovely. And what else do we have in here? I think I got a lighter in here, yeah. So you can never have enough lighters. Of course, I have multiple lighters all over the backpack. So here we have a carbine, so I can fasten stuff to the backpack easily. There is protective glasses, actually night glasses that make it easier to see through fogs. You know, those yellow tint glasses, pretty cool. Now what do we have here? Here's a drinking bottle. This is the one that I have on the ready. This bottle also has some duct tape around it, because you always need duct tape, obviously. You know that if you have ever watched MacGyver or something like that. Here we have a knife that is hanging off pretty loosely right now. This is not the knife that I actually want here. It's a little bit too big and too heavy, but it's one that I have available right now. It's pretty big. It's an actual survival knife. Look at that. This is a Fox Miles knife, but it's a bit too big probably. But it's good to have a fixed blade on the backpack. So this was the front organization, things that I have quickly available even while I'm walking. So at the back here we have a cheap picnic blanket that totally looks civilian. It looks like I don't have any good gear in there. It looks like very unprofessional, right? And that's exactly the signal that it's supposed to give. Because behind that we have a bit more interesting stuff. First of all, we have good work gloves here, personal protective equipment, very important. We have some long cable ties. They can always be useful if you want to get a shelter ready quickly or something else. We have a little tool pouch here. Victorinox sharpening tool, some paracord on the ready. On the inside we have some light sticks, so some chem lights basically, a pen and paper to write on, electrical tape, with a multi-charger, charges all kinds of batteries, mostly lithium ions, but not just, a spork. Got some implements to start a fire. There is fire steel, and there's a main multi-tool. That's a Gerber, I don't know what the name is, a Gerber center drive. That is a very sweet multi-tool actually. It comes with all kinds of bits. I have all kinds of bits for it inside. Again, urban survival situation. You might have to fasten some screws. There's a towel. No, sorry, this is a lighter and some fire starter. I have a towel in there somewhere. So what else we got? Yeah, these are the bits. Little Torx for the multi-tool. So let's move on here. This is interesting. It's $5 or $6. That is a saw. This actually does metal and it does wood. Both of them are going to be pretty tiresome to cut with this saw, but you can cut everything and there's a replacement blade. So I didn't want to bring a bushcraft saw in an urban survival context, but this kind of saw will be able to cut everything in time. So you never know when you have to improvise and harvest some metal, right? So, well, yeah, there is something else. There's a little crowbar hammer thing. Again, in a city you might have to open some doors where you don't have the key for them, and this might be handy, or some locker or whatever. You know, do nothing illegal, but it's good to have a little crowbar. And if you have to open a car, for example, if you help to someone out of a predicament. So definitely a useful tool. Here in the top compartment we have some headgear, of course. Shemag, some headgear. This is a little bit of a rain resistant head cover. Definitely need that. I'm not blessed with natural hair anymore. So here we have some hot hands. Temperature is always the #1 survival issue, so staying warm no matter what. We got some more rain cover, toothpaste, so tooth cleaning kit, some toilet paper, some dude wipes in there, personal hygiene. if you have to survive for a few days, it's definitely handy. Even if you have to bug out in an urban context and many of those supplies should be plentiful, you never know. So if we go down here, then of course we have, adjust the camera. So if we go down here, of course we have the sleeping bag on the outside. Here on the inside, here we have some more paracord. Can never have enough. Here on the inside we have a rain jacket, a wind stopping jacket, a good quality jacket, because quality really makes a difference when it comes to those jackets. You can save money elsewhere, for example with knives or so, but not with those kind of jackets. They're very critical because, again, temperature is the #1 survival issue anyways. And here we have this little pillow thing which really has my spare clothes inside. And yes, this time I also packed good socks. I forgot them last time in my outdoor backpack because I had to took them out. There's a little towel, compact towel. And what else? Yes, this is good quality tarp, inexpensive, 25 bucks. It comes fully equipped. You can make a tent out of it, but it's a really good quality tarp. It's a little bit heavier as well, but it's probably a worthwhile investment of weight. And here we have a very light outdoor blanket, because you can never have enough blankets, realistically speaking. In there is a rain cover as well that goes over the whole backpack. So this is what we have here on the outside. You see on the outside there is more the tools, the personal safety equipment. On the inside is more the equipment that you then need to camp out. Now let's look at the side pouches. Let me adjust the camera again. So this is my food compartment, and it includes really everything regarding food, my cooking utensils. There's also my little folding stove inside. Cooking utensils include some liquid fuel, I think some dragon fuel or something like that. So I have some clean burning fuel in there, and I have a folding stove in there. I have some more sugar and salt from my MRE kit. And I have a lot of drinking bottles in there. I have 3 of these 0.5 liter bottles on each side. So basically that would be 2 days worth of liquid, of water, depending on the outside temperature and the physical exertion, of course. I prefer those little bottles for the simple reason it's easier to balance them out in the backpack. It's easier to refill them at sources. If one is punctured, you only lose one. You only lose a half a liter of water. You don't lose 1.5 liters of water. And absolutely important reason, you can share it, because such a situation where a lot of people have needs, you need to share, you need to cooperate. It's not it's a competitive situation, of course, but it's a situation where you should find allies and you should share your resources. Those little items make it easier than when you have a large, bulky drinking bottle, of course. There we have emergency food that lasts for almost half a century. I have enough calories for 3 days in there. I also have some little snacks, some sweets. This has caffeine. Caffeine is always a good thing. And some protein bars. Again, this is food that is available quickly on the go when you might not want to start a full ration. So I will not fully unpack those. It's redundant, okay? I have the same stuff, pretty much the same stuff in here, except I also have this in there. It's called Jägermeister. It lifts the spirit, and that's again something that you can share and make friends, and friends is what you need. So yeah, some handkerchiefs, why not? Some more protein bars, the same stuff. I'll also have the live straw in here. Someone suggested to have a better filtration system. I'll look into that, definitely. But for right now, this has to do. in theory, you have an infinite source of water. Water is not a big issue here in Austria to begin with, but in other areas of the world it definitely is. So, good. On the inside, this is fire and water resistant, and this contains the personal documents, passport, cash money. I think US dollars. I should add some euros because I am in Europe, but US dollars are always good to have. It has my job certificates inside. It has somewhere there should be a USB stick, which also has digital copies of my most important files. So bring your digital life with you as well. It also has a marriage certificate in there because even though the passports are in there, sometimes if you have to go to a different country, you might have to bring your international marriage certificate if you want to start over for some reason. Yeah, it's definitely good. The most necessary documents are in there. Yeah, it's definitely very robust. And fire stopping retardant. What else do we have in there? The electronics compartment. This is the electronics compartment. It has, first of all, this is a 20 watts solar charger. And in order to really utilize those things, it's good to have a potent power bank, 20,000 milliamps. All kinds of cables are in here, including the micro USB cables I need to charge the walkie-talkies, USB-C cable to keep the flashlight running. So all of that is in this relatively heavy but compact kit. So, and then strategically not very clever, this is my first aid kit. This should be on the outside, it should be on the ready, especially considering it has some trauma aspects to it. So major blood loss. Inside you find of course medication, Neosporin, whatever, emergency blanket, blood stopping granulate powder, pour that into a wound. I have something that many people don't have. Bring something some solution, a stereo wash, for example, where you can flush out your eyes, flush out wounds. I have 2 of these in there. Highly useful. This is some tourniquet and Israeli bandage. So for serious blood loss scenarios, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in here, but it is something that you should check regularly anyways. But it's a decent first aid kit. So it should not be on the inside like I have it right now. Should go on the outside more or less. So what else do we have in here? Nothing. That's pretty much it. But that's most of the stuff, and in my opinion that is a completely equipped urban bug-out bag. Again, you cannot pack everything. You need to go through the backpack from time to time and make sure it is ready for the season. Again, I have enough space in there to add mission or environment specific gear easily, quickly. I could add some more food, some more water, pullovers or whatnot in there. It's plenty of space. Even this is just the baseline stuff that I just showed you right now. The price question, yes, that stuff is kind of costly, but I'll also use a lot of those things for camping purposes. I just need to remember that I then have to replace it. So the bug-out bag is always ready and good to go. I try to have as much gear as possible in a redundant way. So that's it. That's the back. Oh, the backpack itself is 65 liters plus 10-liter compartments on the side. It is a backpack that runs $100 right now. I got it for 40. That was a special deal or something like that. It's medium quality. It's not cheap stuff. It is well made. The compartments are good. It doesn't have a real MOLLE system, but it has enough and many attachment points, and it has a very good weight distribution. Will it break easier than more expensive backpacks? Of course. But again, this is a bug-out bag, and I'm absolutely confident that it would get me through some rough weeks. Now, I hope this video was beneficial to you. If you have any ideas, please share them in the comments. Any criticism is welcome. Funny remarks are welcome, and likes are very much welcome. And yeah, like and subscribe if you can. I hope to serve you with that content. And it's sad that we have to go over such things, but there are many scenarios. It's not just war. There are natural disasters that can just render your apartment, the area where you live, inoperable for a time, and you just need to get out for a night or two before things stabilize a little bit. And this is certainly something that is not crazy at all. You don't need to be a crazy prepper, as if there is something like a crazy prepper in this day and age. It's just, those are also the official suggestions of authorities here. In Austria, for example, you should have something like that, and it shouldn't be too heavy. You should be able to carry it. I can carry it. I'm pretty all right, but my wife has a very small and light bug-out bag. So it doesn't make any sense to pack something that you cannot carry around for at least a few miles till you're in safety. So this was wear and tear. I hope you liked the video. Over and out.